Welcome to the Paying Off Debt series that I'm making just for you. My name is Jarrad from Debt Free Blueprint, and in this series what I like to do is pick one topic surrounding the main topic of paying off debt and go a little bit deeper into it to help give you some insights, some lessons learned, some motivation, just some teaching points that I learned while I was paying off my $82,000 in debt, since paying off my debt, and even after working with a whole lot of people who are currently in debt and working towards paying off their debt. And in this video, what we're talking about, I had to look for a second, even though I know, is expectations. Expectations is something that I've really been thinking a lot about lately. And expectations can kind of bite us in the butt a lot. In the sense that expectations, I think, are good, but they're only good when the other side of the table, the other person, or the other, I guess you could say, goal that you have has actually agreed to what we expect. And most of the time, we create these expectations for ourselves or in our own head that the other person or that goal that you have, paying off debt, has not agreed to. And then once those expectations are not met, we get a little down. We get a little angry. We get a little hurt because you say, well, I expected for this to happen. Why didn't it happen? Well, did anybody agree to it? Or was it just you in your own head? And this can happen when you're paying off your debt. So for me, I had an expectation that I would get my debts paid off in 3 years. It didn't take 3 years. It took 4 years. But that was the expectation that I had for myself. Now, who agreed to that expectation? Me. Did my debt balance agree to that expectation? No, it didn't. Did life agree with that expectation? Agree to that expectation? No, it didn't. And that's why I didn't hit that goal. Now, that's not to discount a payoff date that I think that you should focus on. I think everybody should calculate based on where you're currently at and how much debt you're paying off every single month. I think you need to have that number out there, but I don't want you to get too tied to that number because things are going to happen. The world is going to screw you over somehow. You're going to have to back down your payments at some point. You're not going to make as much money one month, right? Now, you have an expectation, of course, to make X amount of dollars at your job, right? That's an agreement that you have with another party, which is, your job. But you might have a side hustle, and you might not be able to pay as much towards your debts one month because you just didn't make enough money in your side hustle. So you didn't hit that expectation. But that's because your side hustle didn't agree to pay you any extra money or X amount of extra dollars. X amount of extra dollars. I think that makes sense. So be careful with your expectations because I think that puts almost too much pressure out there. Even like when you're talking, and I almost think about this too, like when you're texting someone. Like say you text somebody and you send out a response. This is where I've really been thinking about it, right? You text somebody something and they don't respond and you get angry, not angry, but might bother you in what other way, might anger you, might make you sad, make you upset, whatever, but in reality you're sending out that text, but why do they have to respond? Why do they have to call you back? You're the one who's setting up that expectation. Because you can't tell me that you have never received the text and not responded to it, right? So you can't really get mad at that person. I think lowering those expectations are so important, especially when the other person has not agreed to it, the other party. You can't expect that. So almost like go into it thinking, when it comes to paying off your debt, you know what, I'm not going to necessarily, you could set a number, just don't get tied to that number. You could say, okay, this month I'm going to pay off as much debt as I possibly can. Yes, you might have like a fluid goal and expectation, but don't tie your emotions and your feelings to that number, because you're going to get let down every single day of the week. That's one thing that we know about life in general, is that it's never going to go as planned. It never does, you know? If you think about it, it never does. And guess what? We're still here. That's okay, right? It's okay. But yeah, expectations. They're a killer. I've been thinking about this topic really a lot lately, because I've had my expectations. I've been questioning my expectations, because I've been letting some things bother me, until I kind of stopped and said, all right, let's wait, let's hold on. Why do you have these expectations? And then it's like, oh wait, it's me. I'm the one who's creating the expectations, so it's kind of on me. So what if I just wipe out these expectations at all? What if I send this text and I don't even expect a response at all? Nothing. And I've been a little bit better about it. I think it's going to take a little bit more time in getting used to. But yeah, lower those expectations, and I think you'll get through the process just a little bit easier. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've had this expectation problem before. I'm curious. I don't think it's just me. I hope it's not just me. Maybe I mean, I know I'm weird, but I can't imagine I'm the only one that has had this problem. So yeah, leave a comment down below. Let me know your expectation story, because I'm curious. I like to hear other people's stories about their lives. Just, I don't know. I'm interested in people and you. Alright, Hulk, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you want, and you can leave any questions down below as well if you would like. I shall see you in the next one, friends. Adios.